Hello, hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got another super easy one anyone can draw. This one is so much fun. It's like making a ribbon. We're going to start in the center of the page, and I'm going to do an equal amount of wiggly line going round and around and around to fill the whole page. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to draw a second line that matches the first line. I'm going to do that about 6 times, and the real magic happens when the ribbons start overlapping each other. When you see them crossing over each other, that's where it gets really visually fun. Then you can either stop right after they've all crossed over each other a little bit and fill in those empty spaces, or you can just keep going like I'm going to. I'm going to push this all the way to the edge, and then I'm going to fill it in with color like you saw in the preview. So we're just going to keep going round and around and around. It's kind of like driving a car. You're just slowly following the line, not really needing to make many decisions other than make sure you don't cross over the line from the curve above it, and just keep going. Now, I think if I were to do this again, you can see that my first line was a little thicker than all of the other lines. I wish I made it even more thick, even more of a variety. And then after all of this is done, then we can add in a little bit of shading in the spots that overlap each other so that you can really see those layers. Or we can do like I'm going to do, figure out a color scheme and then just get to coloring. This one is about a 4-inch page, 4x5, and it took me about 15 minutes to draw, and then it took me about 15 minutes to color it in too. Lots of teeny tiny spaces. But I found it really satisfying to color in. It was a lot of fun. Just had to make sure not to get lost in my ribbons. And then as you can see, I'm almost complete. And then what happens to that center? I didn't think about that. If I'm going to color it in, what do I do with that center? So I'm going to go back and double that line over. I'm going to cross it into the line above it. I kind of like that I left it open to give me choices, but now that it's done, I'm going to tuck it in officially. So now the page is completely full. And now I'm going to figure out my color scheme for markers. I kind of want to go dark to light, and I pulled out my thought of markers, and now I'm going to take a piece of paper and double check my color scheme because the color on the outside of the marker does not always match the color of the marker itself. So as you can see, I'm rearranging them a little bit. The color scheme I thought was going to work, what didn't turn out to be quite right, and one of my yellows didn't turn out to be quite right. So now we're trying this pattern. Same markers in a little bit of a different pattern, making sure that we like this color scheme so we can stick to it. Now let's get back to coloring. Again, this took about 15 minutes to color. I'm coloring it in real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill in all the open spaces, which took a little bit longer after my quick mapping it out, because with this first line, it's real easy to get lost without a little bit of a color guide. So real simple, fast color guide, and then coloring it in. This is the relaxing, enjoyable part. Just keep going round and round and round. Already got my colors picked, already got my plan. And we're going to speed it up even more than I already did so you can see the final result. Going on to the light blue. And then the teal. Getting more teal. It's kind of hard to see the color variations, isn't it? I thought it would stand out more. Oh, there was 1 or 2 spots I made a mistake and accidentally colored 2 rows. No worries. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to worry about it. This is just fun. And in the grand scheme of things, it won't stand out too bad. Now the bright colors, this is where you can really see where the lines overlap each other. And that's why I wanted the dark color at the beginning and the bright color at the end, so you can really see what's happening with this pattern. So I would classify this as like a line play, an optical illusion, really a great meditation pattern to draw and just relax and calm your mind. But this one's super duper easy. Just start in the center and create a ribbon that mirrors itself over and over and over and allow it to fold over itself and then color it in. Oh, now I'm going to add a little bit of shading, but honestly with these colors, the shading is not showing up very well. All right, guys, so that's my final result. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found this one enjoyable. I would love to see what you do with it. It has so much potential. My mind is already thinking of a dozen ways to do this a little bit different. Maybe more of a twisty, less predictable wave, or maybe some parts go overlapping, others a little bit more extreme. And definitely that first line I wish was thicker than all the other lines. But again, thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you again soon.